Welcome to episode 4 of Snippets from Session. My name is Ian. This episode is going to be a bit different. Over the last couple weeks, I have been really trying to figure out how to talk about the death of George Floyd and the truly abhorrent displays of systemic racism and racism in the media. And one of the things or conclusions that I've come to is that now is not necessarily a time for me to talk. Now has been a time for me to listen. So that's exactly what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to listen a lot. And one of the things that I have heard from people is that now more than ever, it's time for white people in particular to be introspective. And introspection simply means to examine our internal mental and emotional processes. As I've been trying to do this, it's been a really uncomfortable process. But that's okay. Introspection, if done with intent and deeply, it's most likely going to be uncomfortable because we're looking at things that we may not necessarily like about ourselves, but we're looking at them anyway in order to enact change. There's been a couple of questions that have been posed to me by some of my Black colleagues and friends that have been particularly difficult for me to look at in my times of introspection. I'll share those with you. The two questions are, number one, why now? Why after George Floyd's death have I now decided to make a video denouncing systemic racism and racism in general? The second one is, why do we need somebody, particularly a Black person or person of color, to tell us how to be anti-racist or how to be an ally? Now, listening to them and getting advice is excellent. It's what we should be doing and what we should have been doing all along. But it's also important that we be careful of the burden that we put on other people in terms of providing answers for ourselves. And in order to come up with answers for ourselves, we've got to figure out why we need answers from other people, right? Why we might have been complicit or been willing to go along with things for so long. And those have been two questions that have been really, really difficult for me to answer. So I hope you take me up on this challenge. And this video may be uncomfortable and it's definitely a little bit different than what I normally do, but I think at this time discomfort is good. Discomfort is often needed for change. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them, and I appreciate you watching this video.